Who's accepting people? Good morning, everyone. It's a beautiful morning, and I'm reaching you from the city of Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory of Nigeria. How are you today? It's an early morning. I know that I had to wake you guys up early morning. It's a beautiful morning. Okay. And I'm reaching you from the city of Abuja, the Federal Capital. Okay, that was the echo from YouTube. So guys, let's meet you this morning. Let's do a quick introduction. Tell us where you're joining from. Tell us where you're joining from. Quick introductions. Let's know where you're joining in from. Where are you joining in from? I'm reaching you from the Federal Capital Territory in Abuja. So let's roll. Let's know where you're joining in from. This session has been in case in the course of this 470 people that registered for this session. And so in the course of this session, if you find yourself unable to join from Zoom, please go and join on YouTube. And my people are going to put the YouTube link in the chat room so that you can click it and have it saved somewhere. You can live stream on YouTube. I see Yetunde from Ibadan, Patricia from Lagos, Queen Esther's Apparel, Abuja, Omolara, Lagos, God's Gift from Port Harcourt. Good to see you. Ofure from Lagos. Mercy is up early, all the way from the United States. It's about 1 a.m. her time, and it's such a delight to have you join us, my friend. Ada is in Owerri, Yusuf is in Abuja, Mubarak is in Abuja, Abodaya is in Abuja, Red Diamonds and Dolls. I love that. Good to have you, people. So we're not going to waste any time. I see that the room is buzzing, and I'm expecting this room to fill up in a few minutes. Like I said, we have 470 people that registered for this session, and we are going to make it worth your time. So today, let's quickly take a poll. Let's quickly take a poll. I've been logged out. Okay, I had a poll at sets, but let me see how I can run that. I want everybody to take a poll. Let's see how I can quickly pull that up. I'm going to launch this poll. Okay, while that is going on, let's continue. So I see Abimbola Sefiat is in Ibadan. Auntie B, Biola Olushola is in Abuja. Fisayo Me is in the UK. Good morning, Fisayo. Good to have you on this call. I'm loving you guys that are making it, a duty to join on time. So let's just go straight up. I have your questions. In the registration form, you all filled some questions, and I have seen the questions. My guest has also, we were talking this morning, my guest and I, some things in the questions that I saw. Today, we're talking about your fashion business, and I want to urge you to take everything we're going to discuss here very seriously, because it's going to be a game changer for you. Let me introduce myself. My name is Sam Obafemi. I'm called the Octopus. I love to solve problems for business. And Soka says she can hear, so that we can be sure it's not limited to Who can hear me? If you can hear me, let me know.
I can hear you.
Okay, lovely. Thank you. So someone should please advise. So
I can hear you, sir.
thank you. So someone should kindly advise in the chat room so that he or she can probably unmute or disconnect and reconnect. Thank you very much. So I was introducing myself. My name is Sam Obafemi. I am the octopus. I love to solve problems, and I am grateful to have gone through several paths. I have consulted for fashion businesses for many years now, for almost 10 years, and I have some very good information and the familiarity of what operates in this business and sector. So I figured I could give you guys some tips and some benefits of some information that can help your business. From the information that I received in the form you all filled, there are different levels of people in this call. There are those who are just starting out, there are students, then there are those who are veterans who have done this for a very long time. I'm going to try to address your challenges as much as I can. My guest who will be joining us has been a top-level fashion brand for at least 13 years, and she has clothed who is who in Nigeria. She's currently, well, I'm not sure if I should say so, but she's currently the clothier of the presidency, and she's going to join us very shortly, and we're going to have a very, very robust time. Let me say some things that you must do today. You must make sure that you ask as much questions in the chat room as possible. You must make sure you ask as much questions as possible. That is the way you can maximize your attendance today. This session is just for 3 hours, after which you would have to probably subscribe to something that we may offer you. But for this session, please ask as much questions as possible. So if you're ready for us to roll, I want you to type "let's go" in the chat room. If you're ready, type "let's go" in the chat room. Fantastic. So let us go. Please, everybody, mute your microphone. Thank you. Let's minimize any disruptions. From your questions, I have picked out seven top challenges that I want us to address in today's session. 7 top challenges in the fashion business that I want us to address in today's session. And here they are. Number 1 challenge that I have noticed in the fashion sector is payment process. Payment process. I have noticed that many fashion businesses, the person that is taking care of your customers in terms of selling is also the person collecting money from your customers. Ladies and gentlemen, in fashion business, one rule of thumb: separate products, consumables, and services from payment. Please type what I just said. Separate products and service delivery from payments. Do not make the same person that is selling products or services to be the same person collecting payments. It always leads to you being cheated. Make sure you try your best. I know somebody will say, but that means increasing my salaries. Whatever you are going to do, Make sure that the person that is selling your consumables or buying your consumables or servicing your clients is not the person that is collecting payment. The first problem of fashion business owners is that the payment process is not isolated. You must learn to isolate your payment process. It is very important. I wish I can go deeper on all the areas I'm going to talk about, but because of time, because I want to spend good time taking direct questions from you, I'm going to breeze through my topics. I will breeze through my topics, then I will take questions from you and we can attend to that adequately. So the first thing I've said this morning, isolate your payment process. Isolate your payment process. Make sure that only the person taking your payment, that's the only thing they do. Collecting payments, verifying payments. That is the only thing they do. If you go to any store globally, let's take a sample. Let's talk about a retail store. If you enter a retail store, you can go around the store and pick anything you want, but there's only one payment point. One. Make sure your payment point in your business is isolated. There should be just one payment point, whether it's POS or transfer or cash. There should be one payment point. Very important. That's number one. Number two problem I've noticed about fashion businesses is poor or ineffective processes. And what does that mean? A business process is defined as a sequence of activities that determines a particular outcome. A process is defined as a sequence of activities that determine a particular outcome. Many of you do not have your processes defined. What is an example of a process? Do you and your staff have a common understanding how you sell? For example, do you and your staff, and you know, some of the problems with fashion people is that only the owner of the business knows how they want to do it. Every other person does not know how the owner wants it done. And that's a problem. You are the owner of the business. You are the fashion owner, fashion business owner. It is you that knows how you want to sell. It is you that knows how customers should be followed up. It is you that knows how consumables should be bought. It is you that knows how fittings should be done. It is you that knows from how a customer enters the business till they are satisfied. Only you. Your team does not know it. That is a bad business. If you don't train your staff, you are setting your business up to fail. I want you to write that down. If you don't train your staff on your processes, if you don't train your staff on your processes, you are setting up your business to fail. If you don't train your staff on your processes, you are setting up your business to fail. Setting up your business to fail. If you don't train your staff on your processes, I need to give a gift to Fisayomi. She's so prompt with the comments in the chat room. Thank you, Fisayo. I really appreciate that. If you don't train your staff on your processes, you are setting up your business to fail. If you are not in your business today, and I come in as a customer, does everybody in your business know the steps to take to satisfy anything I want? If I come to your business and I say, I don't know what clothes, what design, I don't know what fabric to buy, I don't know whether this style will fit my body, what is the process for accommodating that request and guiding the customer? Is there a process for how you guys promote your brand on social media? Or is it just anybody just posting anything? Is there a process for the quality of pictures you put online? Or is it just snap anything, just put it there? Is there a process of follow-up? In fact, is there a process for when a customer comes and gives us fabric and takes measurement, this is the number of days they must come in for fitting? Is there a process for that? How many people know the process? Is there a process that is effective? Is there a process for when power goes out in your building? How do we reconnect? What is the process for powering the building? As simple as these things sound. Is there a process for when we are closing for the day? What should we shut down? What is the process for shutting down the building? Like power sockets, like internet, like the monies collected for the day. What's the process for banking that money? What's the process for closing our books? Do you have processes? Are they effective? I said processes mean a sequence of activities that determine a particular outcome. Some things about processes is that you must define what should be done in your business. If you don't define what must be done in your business, everybody will be doing what they think they understand. Then it means that you have complex processes in your business. If you have 2 staff and you don't teach them how you want your processes done, you're going to have 2 different staff doing what they think is their initiative and convoluting your business. So have a defined business process. Have a defined process. You must ensure that anything you want done in a particular way should be taught. You must teach your staff how to do the business the way you want it done. That is what we call the culture of your business. Your staff must know how you want your business done from you. You are the one to teach them. If you don't teach your staff about your processes, you are setting up your business to fail. Number 3 problem I have noticed with fashion businesses is that marketing is a problem. Now, there are 2 things about fashion businesses. A good fashion business would naturally attract customers. One of the people that don't need marketing most times is fashion business, because your popularity goes very far easily. It's very easy for your popularity to go very far. It's very easy for people to refer other people to you. Fashion businesses always get a lot of customers, but fashion businesses don't know how to use that traffic for marketing. And this is one perennial problem I have noticed. It still comes back to processes. The question is, how many new customers is my business getting every year? Year on year, as we're going out of a year, am I getting new customers more than I did when I started last year? That is a question a fashion business must ask. How many new customers? Let me ask these questions in particular way. Number 1, how many new customers entered our business this year? Number 2, how many customers stayed with us this year? If you have 10 customers at the beginning of 2023, and as 2023 is ending, you still have only 10 customers, I can tell you for sure that you have less than 10 customers. Because every year, businesses lose 3% of their customer base, minimum. Every year, businesses lose at least 3% of their customer base. So you must ask yourself, how many new customers did we gain this year? Number 2, how many customers did we retain? How many customers stayed with us this year? Number 3, how many of our retained customers have made clothes with us so far? Let me take the questions again. Question number 1, how many new customers did we gain this year? Question number 2, how many customers stayed with us this year? Question number 3, how many of our retained customers made clothes with us this year? Question number 4, what is the time gap between the last clothes our customers made? What's the time gap? If your customers are making clothes from you once a year, your marketing is very poor. If your customers are making clothes from you or with you only once a year, your marketing is very poor. If your customers are making clothes from you twice a year, your marketing is very poor. If your customers are making clothes from you or with you once a quarter, your marketing is not bad, but you can do more. Because we all wear clothes, people. We all wear clothes. The average woman makes a dress once a month, minimum, the average woman. So if there are women in your database and 1 month passes and they've not called you to make a dress, your marketing is poor. This is one problem fashion people must understand. If you are not getting more people doing clothes with you, you are losing more people to other tailors and other fashion businesses. You must constantly be overwhelmed so that you can expand. I want you to write that down. You must constantly be overwhelmed so that you can expand. You must constantly be overwhelmed so that you can expand. Fantastic. The next thing I'm going to talk about is customer loyalty. One problem many fashion businesses face is keeping their customers. I have asked you 4 questions in marketing. One of the questions was, how many customers stayed with us? And how many retained customers made clothes with us this year? That is customer loyalty. How can I increase customer loyalty? Let me share 3 quick tips on increasing your customer loyalty. 3 quick tips. Tip number 1 for customer loyalty is acknowledge a customer. Acknowledge a customer. Some of you, a customer will bring a new customer to make clothes. You will not later call that customer or message them and say, we see you. Thank you for bringing a person to our business. We acknowledge you. Thank you. The new customer will pay for a service. You will not send money to the customer that brought that customer and say, that customer you brought has made a dress with us, and we are giving you 10% of what that customer paid. Kindly send us your account details so that we can send you a token of our appreciation. Month in, month out, customers come and do clothes. You just tell them, we are stressing ourselves to satisfy you. You're always not appreciating us. You're not, hello, it's not a customer that we appreciate you, sir. It's not a customer that we appreciate you, ma. It is you that we appreciate your customer. Acknowledge your customer. Every step that a customer takes in the interest of your business, let them know you know. By letting them know you appreciate. Acknowledge your customers. It is impossible for you to lose a customer when you are constantly affirming them, checking on them, calling on them, following them up. It's impossible to lose them. So number 1, acknowledge your customers. Number 2, reward your customers. Reward your customers. Reward them. When a customer has constantly brought money into your business, make up your mind to give them something. And guess what? Don't give them, I know it's easy to say, if you make 5 clothes, we'll make 1 cloth for you free, which is not a bad idea. But guess what? It is even sweeter when you reward them with a non-cloth reward. Your reward should not be tied to another dress. Your reward should not be tied to another cloth or fabric. Your reward can be paying for swimming for their children, swimming lessons. Your reward can be paying for a movie, a new movie that came out. You're paying for them to go to the cinema. Your reward can be offsetting some, bills on their behalf. Your reward can even be sending them money. It can be anything. Because the easiest thing tailors do or fashion people do is when you make 3 dresses, we give you 1 for free. It is not a bad idea, but when you reward your customer from something that is not related to your business, something rings a bell. It rings a bell. Imagine asking your customers, what kind of salad do you want? And you send them the kind of salad that they want for lunch. They will not forget. They won't. Many of my customers have eaten burgers, salads, some food from me. I don't sell food, but I send them gifts not related to the work that I do. That is one way to appreciate your customers. Number 3 way to keep your customers loyal is that whoever their customers bring must be happy. Make your customer referrals happy. It is embarrassing that I will refer somebody to you and you treat that person shabbily because it's not me. I can't be loyal to you when you treat somebody I sent to you shabbily. I can't be loyal to you when you treat somebody I sent to you shabbily. You must make your customers happy. Every referral that is sent to you is as good as the person that sent the referral. Never treat them differently. It's the same person in another flesh. That way, your customers will be loyal. They can beat their chest and say, this tailor will take care of you. This fashion person will take care of you. It is very, very key for us to take note of these points. So these are the 3 things I will say about customer loyalty. And I'm going to move to the next point. So I've talked about 4 areas that fashion businesses suffer. Let's continue. Number 5 area that fashion businesses suffer is the stealing, thefts, or wrong use of company assets and consumables. If this rings a bell, this number 5, theft or wrong use of company assets and consumables, if it rings a bell, I want you to type yes in the chat room. If it rings a bell, if it's something you're familiar with. Most fashion businesses suffer from stealing. Their staff steal from them. Today they steal thread. Tomorrow is a needle. Even tailor self will collect their own. Then they bring their personal hustle into your business and make dresses for other people and collect the money. They use your machine. They use your diesel. They use your... That is a big problem in fashion business. It goes back to processes. The question I would ask you is, what is the check and balance in your business? There are some things you must do to eliminate theft. Some things you must do to eliminate theft. You must create short junctions in your business. What does short junction mean in fashion business? Some business will say a customer will bring fabric, bring it to the front office, tell them that this is what I want. The person in the front office will record it, take it to the tailor. The customer will go to the tailor and measure. Then when they measure, they come back to the front office and pay and leave. There is a high collusion factor there. Do you know that? 1, it is possible for the person in the front office to bring a customer that is not the business customer, but their customer. If the front office person is the one liaising with the tailor, the front office person can collude with the tailor to do business that is not for the business, that is not for your business. They can do business that is not for your business. So what is a short junction? You must start a process and different people handshake the value chain. When a cloth is brought, the department that receives clothes should be the department that measures those clothes, those customers, and only the records are taken to the tailors, not the customers going to the tailors. And the payment is completely, we've talked about payment before, isolated. Isolate your payment process, isolate your collection process, isolate your production process. You cannot have them connect. They have to be parallel. That is short junction. There must be parallel processes. The person that handshakes with customer cannot be the same person that handshakes with production. In terms of production here means the tailoring system, and cannot be the same person collecting money. You will lose. There must be parallel processes that don't meet. It may look like too much cost for you to set up, but in the long run, you are losing more if you don't set this up. Create parallel processes. The process of collecting clothes from customers must be different from the process of how the clothes will be made, and must be different from the processes of how we collect payment for those clothes. And then this different from the process of fitting. There is a business we're consulting for. We hired a supervisor whose job is just to ensure that fitting is correct. How the original measurement was taken is not the business of this supervisor. But when it comes to the clothes we have made, does it fit the customer? That is the process of, that's a different process. So these things must be done adequately. Create parallel processes, short junctions in your business. That's number one. Number two, ensure that supervision is not done by the person who is doing the job. You cannot have the person that takes collection of fabrics being the one that supervises their job. It does not work like that. Some people say they can't hear me. Please, if you can hear me, type "I can hear you" so that they can know that you can hear me. And then hopefully somebody can help me tell them to disconnect and reconnect. Okay. Thank you. So someone kindly advise my people.
At the family, if you're going to experience God, experience Spirit, first, So this new year, it's going to experience also.
Pray hands, please mute your microphone. Thank you. Okay. Pray hands, please mute your microphone. Thank you. So, okay, thank you. So I was saying, number two, supervision must be done by somebody outside the department. Supervision cannot be done by the persons inside the department. So this is what it means. If I am in the tailoring department, there has to be an external person, not in tailoring, that comes to supervise whose clothes is who making. There have to be that control. If I am in the payment, somebody has to supervise that the payments I'm collecting are all being seen in the company's account, are all being documented, and we can trace it. They are verifiable payments that all go to the company account. These are very important things. Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest problem of any business is the absence of supervision. I want you to write that down. Any business that does not supervise work will go out of business. Thank you. The biggest problem of any business is lack of supervision. In project management, we say, what you don't measure, these latecomers, what you don't measure, you cannot improve on. What you don't measure, you cannot improve on. So one thing a business must constantly do is measuring, monitoring, supervising. You cannot do fashion business without supervising. I don't know about you. If you are the type of fashion business owner that just say, I have a store, we do ready to wear, we do, what are those other packages? Bespoke, all that. And then you just sit in your house and say, our store is full. Our tailors are fantastic. You are in your house, or yours is your case. They are stealing you blind. You must supervise. You must set up a system of supervision. That is very key. So do not let the people in the department supervise themselves. You have to do cross supervision. Cross supervision. The people in production should be supervising the people in collection. One person in collection should be supervising somebody in delivery. Customer care should be supervising. You have to do cross supervision. Very, very important. Very, very important. The next thing you must do with respect to curbing theft is key performance indicators, KPIs. You must have firm KPIs. Firm KPIs, key performance indicators. And what does this mean? What exactly are we measuring? So let me give you an example. Every day at the collection point, we are measuring how many collections did we have, how many people brought in clothes, how many customers walked in. That is one thing to measure. So 15 people walked in today. If 15 people walked in today and 15 people brought, say, 25 fabrics collectively, when we are measuring the production side, there should be 25 delegated productions based on today's collection. If I have 5 tailors and there are 25 fabrics from 15 people that walked in, which fabrics are with which tailor? So that we know that from today's job alone, we can account for the 25 fabrics that were received. That is KPI. You are measuring that this tailor has collected this and should deliver it by so day. Then you should be able to also measure that if there were 15 customers that walked in today, there should be 15 payments. If there are 25 fabrics of different designs, each design has its price plus all the accessories and consumables. We measure what was collected, what was consumed, what was acquired, and it should tally to so amount. You see that monitoring is non-negotiable. You have to have a watertight monitoring system. Let me tell you an example. You can never work with an Indian or a Lebanese and you steal their money. It go hard. It go hard. You know why? Their eyes are in the details. They say the devil is in the details. You must not negotiate monitoring and measuring. You must set KPIs. If a tailor must deliver so number, that is what they must deliver. If the person collecting money, they must account for every single customer that walked into the building. Every consumable that has been taken must be accounted for. If you go to the bank, in the banking system, every morning they take inventory of the vault. How much are we? What's our opening balance this morning? At the end of the day, what's our closing balance today? They will compare notes. We started with so amount. We collected more money from CBN. So at midday, we had a new balance. At end of day, we collected so deposits. There has to be a measure of that. So for every customer that has walked in, what did they do? How many deposit slips did we collect? How much is the cumulative amount on the deposit slips? Does it correspond with what we have in cash? All the payments that were done electronically, a report is generated. There has to be a correspondence, debit value and credit value. That is monitoring with KPIs. Why can you not do that in your business? Some of you think that fashion business is just about, I have a store, customers are paying us, then when we're ready, we'll do their clothes, maybe they no stress us. After all, everybody, they tire. No, you have to be very particular about monitoring and KPIs. That is another way to curb theft. The next way to curb theft, and this is a very sensitive one, the next way to curb theft is to pay well. This is one part that many business owners don't like to hear. You cannot pay peanuts and not expect monkeys in your business. If you pay peanuts, it's a HR slogan. If you pay peanuts, you hire monkeys. That is a HR slogan in the world. You cannot be having staff and you are paying them what we barely take them home, and you don't expect them to hustle. It is not foul. It does not work like that. It does not work like that. It does not work like that. You must prepare yourself to pay well. Now, how do you pay well? Because sometimes businesses don't have the cash to pay salaries like they want. Let me show you some strategies. Number one, before you hire a person, know the industry standard for their pay. Don't say, well, here, this is how much we pay. We don't care what any other person is paying you. Well, if you don't care what any other person is paying at that level, then you don't care whether they stay or steal from you. That's what it means. You must ask yourself, what are my contemporaries at my level paying for this role? Know the industry level standard for payment per role. Do your environmental scanning. At my level, how much are people paying for this thing? That's number one. Number two, aspire to pay more than the industry level. It is a good thing. Aspire to pay more than the industry level. If your industry is paying tailors, let's say per job, let's say per service or per dress made, let's say you are paying them, say 20K per dress made or 15K per dress made. Let's say that's the industry level. You can tell them, you know what? Across board, anywhere you go right now, they are paying 15K, but we are going to be paying you 18K because we want to give you a little premium above what you're earning, above what you may earn anywhere. Pay better than the industry level. It ties down some level of loyalty. None of this is fail-proof, but it works. So that's number two. Number three, make your staff earn from your business. Make your staff earn from your business. And I'm going to explain that. Whether you like it or not, you cannot eliminate corruption in any system. It is not humanly possible. By nature, the human person, the human mind is corrupt naturally. So what should you do? Incorporate that in your business. Instead of your staff being tempted to bring jobs from outside and Nicodemously do it, you say, you know what? Any job you bring that is your own, we will cost the job, we will remove the cost of production from the job, and then you will earn 70%, we'll take 30%. We'll remove the cost of our power, cost of our needle, cost of our fuel, cost of our time, cost of our everything. Then that profit, you will take majority, we will take minority. Let them earn from your business. What that does for your business is that there will be more traffic to your business. There will be more transparency in your business, and everybody will be earning more. If my monthly salary in your business is 70K But from the jobs I bring, I can earn another 70K cumulatively. It means I can earn twice my salary or more than that in a month just by bringing jobs. I don't lose. You don't lose. I don't lose. But when you say no, if you are working here, you must focus on us alone. You cannot bring anybody's job here. You cannot this, you cannot that. These are normal rules. They make sense. They sound right, but they are not sustainable. Incorporate your business, your staff hustle in your business. You can't get it wrong. Google is doing that as we speak. Netflix is doing that as we speak. Their staff bring businesses and they earn from it big time commissions. If global brands are doing it, don't act like you are holier than them. Incorporate your staff hustle into your business. That way you can cut off theft to a large extent. Let me say a caveat. This is not fail-proof. There are some people that are just destined to be stupid. We know. But to a large extent, you can reduce the losses in your business to a large extent. It will also reduce the pressure on you to increase their salaries. Because when they bring jobs and they earn from those jobs, you're not under pressure to increase their salary because inflation keeps growing. You will not be under pressure to do that. You just know that, well, see, even in hotels and restaurants, there's what we call tips. The staff are encouraged to serve the customers in a very beautiful manner so that the customers drop a tip. So that at the end of the month, the tip is shared across everybody. And they go home. Do you know that in 5-star hotels and 7-star hotels, the tips that the staff go with is even much more than their salaries? I'm telling you from real-time experience. So incorporate this in your business. Incorporate tips, incorporate commissions, incorporate their hustle. Let them bring their hustle into your business. If your staff have plugs for accessories like buttons, like zips, like fabrics, like let them incorporate their plug into your business and let them negotiate on your behalf. When they negotiate on your behalf, let them earn a commission for every purchase you make from that plug. So if I'm buying accessories from my staff's plug, we have an agreed fee. As we are buying from them, we are compensating our staff for that plug. It lowers our cost, it increases our quality, and it keeps business going. Guess what? Your staff may never leave your business because they will not find that experience anywhere else. It's not likely for them to find anybody that will give them room to express their hustle. So if you build a system around this and you have it properly defined and everybody signs an undertaking that we are going to agree, because they say two cannot work together unless they agree. If you can come to an agreement with your staff and you all sign to these kind of deals, to a large extent, you can go to sleep and know that you will not be cheated. Because somehow, plus the processes, plus the short junctions, plus the overseeing, and all that checks and balances, a lot of sanity will enter your business. This is a big thing I've just shared with you. Big, big thing. The next thing, because so that my guests can speak, I have about 10 minutes left. The next item is staff retention. I think I have addressed staff retention by my last conversation around incorporate the hustle of your staff into your business. To a large extent, your staff will not leave you. If you let your staff express themselves in your business, they are not likely to leave your business. Because one major problem with tailor fashion businesses is that, especially their tailors, I speak from having worked with fashion brands in Abuja, one of their biggest headaches is tailors. They are always on the move. They are always on the move. They are always on the move. Some things you must get right. One, don't put a tailor on a salary. Don't. it is way better to pay tailors as they work. You can put them on a base allowance for their transportation, for their day-to-day running, basic allowance, like, okay, a commitment fee. But don't pay them on a salary. Put your tailors on a base allowance, but pay them based on volume of work done per quality, because you know you have supervisors that will be checking quality of work done. So as they produce work, you pay them on that work. It's very important. So when you have, at the beginning of every week or at the beginning of every month, these are the deliverables for this week. Tailor A, based on your capacity, you're expected to finish so volume this week. This is what is accruable to you at the end of this week. If you finish this level of work, and they go to work, end of the week, pay them. Pay them based on work done that has been supervised to meet your quality. Don't put tailors on a salary. Put them on a base allowance and pay them based on work done. That's number one. Number two, pay your tailors weekly. Don't pay your tailors monthly. Pay your tailors weekly. Don't pay your tailors monthly. For their level of work and their level of skill set and exposure, monthly payment is too far for them. They will go and look for another work because they'll be thinking that if I'm doing this thing for myself, every day I go get money. This one I go, they wait till end of month like staff. Tailors are not staff. I hope I'm communicating. Tailors are not staff. And whether you like it or not, in your value chain as a fashion business, your tailors are critical, hypercritical. Excuse me. Tailors are not staff. Tailors are not staff. Please don't forget. So don't put your tailor on a monthly salary. Don't do that. Pay your tailors weekly based on volume of work done. What that means is that the week that the tailor is not available to you, free them. They are not your staff. That takes me to point number 3. Have a large pool of tailors. Don't say, no, we have only 3 tailors in our business, very dedicated, very loyal, very this. If you have that, praise God. But that is a risky strategy. Have a large pool of tailors. Constantly be hiring tailors. In HR, there's a saying in HR, have a large pool. They say keep hiring. How do we put it? Keep recruiting. Yes, keep recruiting and for hiring later. I think that's the way they put it. Keep recruiting. That's a HR balance. Otumba Detiba is here. You probably will know the right statement. In HR, they encourage businesses to keep recruiting. Be recruiting people and hire them later based on their availability. Interview them. Let them be in your pool. It's the same thing with tailors. Keep recruiting tailors. Let them be in your pool. So when you're starting a week and you have volumes of work, you can say, hello, we have some jobs this week. Or are you available? Can you deliver 10 clothes for us? This is come, let's discuss. They come, you discuss the style, you discuss the client, you discuss this, you discuss that. Let them know the date you want it delivered because of fitting. Let them go with the work, the kaya, the job. They will go and make it and bring it on the day you have agreed. And then your supervisor is checking that they are getting it done. They bring it, your customers come and do fitting and take feedback, and then you pay them off. That way you're not stranded. One tailor wake up one day and just say he's not coming to work. You are saying, hey, Mobile, what am I going to do? Have a large pool of tailors. Otumba, I see you. Have a large pool of tailors. Have a large pool of tailors. It's very, very important. Make sure that you don't get stranded because a tailor checked out. Pay them weekly, put them on a base allowance, pay them more than the industry premium, and have a large pool of tailors. Very, very important. I'm going to stop at this point. I'm sure my guests will amplify this particular topic. And then the last part I'll talk about before I let her speak is cost of consumables. That is one problem tailors, fashion businesses also have. So how do you address this? like we have talked about tailors, you should also have a large pool of plugs. You see, one thing that a fashion business cannot afford is that you are loyal to a limited volume or pool of plugs. You cannot do that. You cannot be loyal to a small set of service providers. It's only one person that's supplying you zip. It's only one person supplying you button. It's only one person supplying you thread. It's only one person that is servicing your sewing machine. It's only one person. Only one person. You are going to be stranded. Though. You must constantly recruit service providers. Check them out, negotiate, have a fair price. Every time you're buying consumables, don't be buying from the same place. If you're buying from the same place, the chances that they will hijack your business is very high. Constantly you must have a diary of plugs. Have an Excel sheet of plugs. There's a worksheet for tailors, worksheet for zip sellers, button sellers, thread sellers, services of embroidery machines, services of sewing. Have them like that, a diary of plugs. Constantly be checking. Okay, what's your price for zip today? Oh, okay. What's your own price for zip today? And then even if you are getting a higher price, buy from another place another time. Don't be buying from the same place. That way your business is competitive. That way your business will not be hijacked by a service provider. These are some very important things that you must take note of. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen at this point. I don't know if Baddest Boss is currently online, but before she comes on, let me take one or two questions. Fantastic, she's online. So let me take one or two feedback or comments. Once it's 8 o'clock, I'm going to introduce my guest, and she's going to take us to another level. Guys, you don't want to miss her session. So let me hear from you. One or two comments or questions. Talk to me. Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce our guest today. Our guest is a very dear friend, someone I've admired for so long, one of my distinguished partners in business, and a veteran in your business industry. She's an authority. I like to call her the baddest boss. She's done business at the very top level. And ladies and gentlemen, I can tell you anything she tells you today, take it to the bank. I want to encourage you that when you listen to her, be ready to take your business to the next level by engaging her and following her up. So this is one thing I want to let you know. Peace Solomon is saying, what if your tailor insists on monthly payments? If your tailor is asking for monthly payment, honor it. But bear in mind, it is risky. So if they're asking for monthly payment, are they asking on a salary or are they asking based on work done? It is better for you to pay based on work done. But if they insist on salary, just know that your risk is high because they can wake up one day and say, somebody else wants to pay me 5 naira more than the one you are paying me. I'm going. So don't decline, don't deny, don't say you are not doing monthly, but just bear in mind that it is riskier. Kudirat says, I've learned quite a lot this morning. Thank you. Ofure says, how about startups working with interns? I need you to qualify your question. Kindly make it clearer. But we're going to take questions after my guest has spoken. So let's suspend questions for now. When she's going to speak from 8 a.m. to 9 a.m., then we can take questions for 1 whole hour. So, boss, welcome to this call. Thank you for honoring my invitation. Thank you for being there every single time. May we meet you, boss. Good morning.
Hello, everyone. I hope you all had a good night's rest. I have been awake since 6 a.m. I literally called Coach Sam and said, Coach, I did not have, I had a long day yesterday, but I'm excited, really, really excited to be here. Why am I excited? Every time we talk fashion, I enjoy it. I like it. So I feel when you're in this space that we are, most of us, alongside how many of you are here, probably about 50, 55 of you, it's exciting because the majority of us do this because we love it. If we didn't love it, trust me, would have since ran away, would have since said, no way, no way, this is not my space to play. My name is Ruqayya Mohammed. I am the creative director of Readers. Readers is a fashion house here in Abuja, operating between Abuja, Dubai, and, stock is here and there. So really, I've been doing this for 16 years. So it's been a long time. So 16 years comes with a lot of, how do you say, on the job training, because a lot of things we learn at school, as we all know, it might be slightly different on the job. And I like the last question that Coach Sam answered. Someone said, what if my tailor asked to be paid monthly? That was a struggle, deciding. But for me, from the onset, I sort of started with, I don't like commissions personally, because I feel there isn't commitment when I do commissions with people. I like people to buy into my idea. For me to be able to work with you, you have to buy in. You have to buy into the idea of this brand, whatever values we stand for, whatever mission we have, or the vision of the company. If the tailors and the front officers are not able to buy in, then there's a problem. So with the tailors, we can basically just agree, how much do you want me to pay you per outfit? And let's see, my tailor says to me, 20,000. I can say, okay, that's fine. And what is the maximum? Oh, sorry, they give me their price. I give them a minimum target. I don't give maximum. I give a minimum. It means my expectation from you, not mine, the business expects you to do 15 monthly. If you're able to give me 30, by all means, I'm even more excited. There are months that my tailors go home with like 500,000. I'm not lying. That's because they've been able to realize that once I'm able to push beyond, I can earn even more. But instead of giving them, what I do is if your target is 15 and you come and say, we have a time in the month that you can ask for cash advance or loans, whatever it is. There's a window in my organization. That's how we do it. There's a window you can ask for loans or cash advance. Your cash advance cannot exceed what you have done so far. So if you earn 20,000 and you want cash advance of 100,000, it means that you've given me 6 already or 7 that I'm holding in the bank. I'll be more than happy to give you 5, to give you 100,000, for instance. So I don't do commissions and I don't do salary, but I do something in between. I don't know what this is, but it works both ways, whether for myself or my tailors or the people in my business, it sort of works for us. So it keeps us from, having to go back and forth or lack of commitment. Because for me, if I have to have people randomly come in, and it'll be hard for you to meet up to my standards. I'm a very finicky person. I can see lines. If your line is not straight, I see it before you give me your work. I'm a hands-on person. So if your line is not straight, I'll make you losing the work. So they know once I'm in the factory with them, oh my God, their lines have to be straight. Sometimes they even prefer that I don't even sit in the factory, but I'm a hands-on person, so I'm constantly there. So yes, I started this business in 2007. It's been quite some years now, but I like to say, take it slow. I don't like fast people when people move too quickly in whatever they're doing, because you miss the process of learning. You miss the process of learning when you're too quick to just move. We all want, fashion is very glamorous. Everybody, it's in it for the glam, the lights and all of that. But beyond that, there are many other things. And I'm happy Coach Sam really talked about most things that we all go through. He did. He talked about literally most of it. He did. So take it slow for me. Why? Because you'll be able to appreciate everything that is going on. But if you're too fast to succeed, I don't know. I tell you a story. In in 2008 or 9, I can't remember, but it would have been like 2-3 years down when I started Readers as a business. And then social media wasn't big at that point in time, and we're all living on this day style. When it comes out on Saturday, I can't remember, Saturday or Sunday, there were many other magazines, fashion magazines at the time, and This Day had taken a trip to Abuja to cover northern designers, as they like to say it. And for whatever reason, the people involved didn't find me fit for it. So I think the paper came out on Saturday or Sunday, I don't remember. But on Monday, I happened to meet, I don't even know how, but this is God's plan. So I happened to meet the person that chaired the editor or whatever and she goes like, how come no one ever mentioned you? I'm like, what are you trying to say? She said, we had a photo shoot with XY brands, XYZ, and she mentioned a lot of them. But how come nobody ever mentioned you? And I said to her, well, perhaps, we're probably just 2-3 years in this line of business, and perhaps they didn't just even remember. People get carried away. I'm not here to give her reasons why people didn't find Readers fit to be in that space. But guess what? 16 years down the line, I am not joking. All of those brands are nowhere to be found. All of them. But why? I feel people take things too fast. You don't let yourself grow. And then when the success comes and you're not ready to absorb it, it's an issue. So they were all out in the limelight. Success came. They couldn't keep up. At the end of the day, not a single one of them is standing. And if one or two are standing, you never even hear of them anymore. So I say, take things easy. Don't be too fast. Just go with the flow. Everybody has a story to tell. So don't look at somebody's journey and say, I want this to be my journey. It could be yours. It could be better, but just make your journey and be alive in it, like absorb it and enjoy it. There are times that you hit rock bottom. I remember a time that I woke up and I sacked all my tailors. This was probably 4 years down the line, 5. I came into the building and we had a customer come in for an express job that they needed the next day. And I think I'd assigned the work to some of the tailors and they left. Now, I didn't just sack the tailors that had those issues or decided not to work. I sacked everyone in the building. You know what I said to them? I said, 10 years from now, Readers will be standing and all of you might be gone. So I'm not going to let you kill a dream that I have. I would let you guys go. They thought I was joking. The next day, the security at the gate didn't let them in. And I recruited afresh. So I like when Coach Sam says you have a diary of plugs. It's also very important because at that point in time, had I not had a diary of plug, I don't know what I would have told the client after I had committed, because I had to just go into my phone and dial a number and say, I need you. We have this work. We have to get it ready before tomorrow and all of that. But these are also people that have some level of understanding of how you do your work. There's shortcuts in fashion, even in stitching, everything, there's a shortcut to it. I don't do shortcuts. If it's going to take me 10 days, please let it take me 10 days, because at the end of the day, I want my product to speak for itself. I don't want a situation where we're going back and forth and, there's really nothing. No shortcuts. I go for the main thing, man. I just go and I'm patiently there until it's ready. Then I'm ready. Recently, just a few days, no, it's been a week, there's this thing we started. I think we started during the lockdown and we started home. Everybody was at home. And then I said to myself, well, if the mountain can come to Muhammad can go for the mountain. Our clients are all in their houses. How do we reach out to them? We all agreed. We came, we had a Zoom, meeting and all of that, including the tailors. We made sure we'd given everyone like access to, whether they, what do you call it, internet, so they could buy and all of that. We moved machines to several locations where our tailors are, and we were working. So when people weren't working during the lockdown, we were working, because at some point, if you remember, there were times that delivery people were allowed to work. So if you come to us and say, if you send us a message and say your pickup location is, let's say, Maitema, we already have a tailor that resides around the area. We'll pick up, you tell us what you want. We created a system that worked. So always, whenever you find yourself in a box, always think, how do I get out of this box? There's always a solution. There is always a way out. You have to just think, how do I do this? And, so we started creating these boo-boos after the lockdown. Still, people weren't very comfortable about coming into the space because, people were being very cautious. Am I going to get infected? Am I going to come out and take things to my family and stuff like that? We started making boo-boos. I have people in my team that are very pessimistic. They do not, anything I say, like, so man, no, it may not work with people. Like I said, well, we cannot know if they will like it. We have to try it. Like, we really need to try it. And they looked at me. I'm like, okay, well, we got to the office and we kept working on this particular boo-boo at the time. And I don't even know why I decided to call that boo-boo by my name. I'm every day, oh my God, till today, that boo-boo has become our bestseller. No jokes. If I tell you we have done over 500 of those boo-boo or more, because I stopped keeping count, maybe even more. I'm not lying. And they're not cheap. So when I say they're not cheap, if the fabric at the time would cost you probably 50,000, because it would be Holland. And at that time, probably Readers was charging, I don't know, maybe 45,000 to make it. So it will cost you nearly like 90,000 to make that outfit. But you can imagine, even as of yesterday, we had a client come in, I want that boo-boo. So it's a boo-boo that is very difficult to replicate unless you get the original. And even if you do get the original, it is still not the same. So you have to find what truly defines you as a brand. You really need to think, where do I want to play? Do I want to play in the bridal sector? Do I want, the bridal side? Do I want to play in the, some people are able to put all together and it works for them. But still, let there be something that you are known for. Let there be something that you are known for. When we started I sat one day and I said to, again, my team, how about we put, people at the time had zippers that when you can't see through them. It's just an invisible zip and it goes up. I was like, I want people to wear my outfit and sort of know they're wearing Readers. And I started to put the zip band at the back, this is bespoke. Sorry, I'm talking bespoke now. So we started to put the zip at the back where it's very defined. So if your fabric has a bit of white and, let's say, white and black, I could go with just black, and you can see at the back of your blouse or dress, there's this line of black zip, and people started to copy. And copying is flattering because it tells you you're doing something right. 2 years ago, I go into a wedding and I see a designer. She calls herself a designer, and she says, "Oh, Readers, how are you?" I was like, "Are you wearing Readers?" And she said, "No." I said, "So why would you want to put a Readers zip band? You're confusing your clients. How about you find something that defines you, so people don't confuse you with somebody else." So for the many people out there that eventually started to put the zip bands at the back of their outfits, I only marketed Readers. That's how I saw it. I didn't see it as a threat, because at some point myself was like, maybe we should stop. I was like, no, that's always the problem. When you start something, see it through to the end.
I remember when boss, sorry to interrupt you. I remember when that zip issue came up. I remember vividly. Fantastic.
Yes.
Copying is flattering.
It is flattering because at the end of the day, you see that a lot of people have dropped it, but you're still standing. From people, even my clients, I struggled because there's some, again, Coach Sam mentioned, our clients are high-profile clients, very, very high-profile. Alhamdulillah, I've been able to dress who is who in Nigeria. You don't even want to know. If you think you're someone, then possibly you have made one thing or the other with Readers, but it is not just one day's work. It took 16 years or maybe 10, 12 years to get here. And it had to do with being consistent and being recognizable. Some of these things that we're talking about, like just having the zip band, it is people would become just aware that this is readers, or your silhouettes. It could be your cuts. My styles are not complicated, but my styles, every time I put something out, trust me, we did something during Eid and we had all of this, outfits with blooming flowers over it. And I know, I am not joking. I know in the next 1-2 weeks, we'll have a lot of people replicating it, but it's fine. It tells you you're doing something right. And it tells you what you're an industry leader. It's not a place for you to be upset that people are copying, or to be upset that, sometimes we're humans. You put a post, you see 1,000 people have saved it. My sister tells me that her friend goes to one market in Lagos and she met this tailor and he had 2 designs of readers, mass production to be shipped somewhere. And I'm like, really? How about, but sometimes the human in us kicks in where I say, oh my God, that money should be coming into readers. But then again, I'm like, you know what? It can never still be readers. So we have copy, there's LV and there's a replica of LV. You know what you're wearing. At the end of the day, you know what you're wearing. So one of my advice to all of you today is, if you're working in the space of either bespoke or ready to wear, find what works for you. Make yourself different. It would take time to get noticed, but when you do, it would work out. There's no reason for you to be looking at this brand and saying they have it all figured out. Nobody has it figured out. I still don't have it figured out. Yes, I don't, because it's a school. So I'm learning every day. I go there today and there's this challenge and I have to face it with my head up and continue. And that's where passion kicks in. If you're not passionate about what you're doing, then it's not going to work for you. It wouldn't work. So whether it's in the space of, ready to wear, you have to decide, am I going to do active wear? Am I going to do this? Am I going to dive into printmaking? You have to really, 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 really decide. But when you're able to create a brand and people are able to associate certain things with you, you can market anywhere. You'll be able to market anywhere. You can sit at home and decide, okay, you know what? It's just going to be an online store. And it will still work. It will still work because you're the driving force. Every other person is buying into that idea or that idea that you have or you're trying to push out, to people. And you have to understand the demography that you're also marketing and the need at that point in time. So if you're choosing to play, where the age group is between 18 to maybe 30, these are youngsters, the kind of things that they like. Or if you're choosing to do from 30 upwards, then, these are people that sort of have their minds, they understand exactly what they want. Now they have an identity, so you have to think about all those things when you have to sit down and profile your own customer. It's called customer profiling. What are their habits? How do they spend? What do they do? How many children do they have? All those things are factors. Customer profiling is more than important. You profile the client you want and you work towards getting those customers in your business. You have to be deliberate about it. So there are times, I'm not saying be picky or choosy. I'm not picky or choosy. No. There are clients that are coming to read us like daily. I appreciate them. Why? Because the money is consistent, it's daily. They can come maybe twice a week, 3 times a week. There's some that would come every other month, but you don't say, I'm not going to appreciate all of them. We love all of our clients. We do. So you've got to be deliberate with your choices, with identifying the niche you want to actually play in, one of the major challenges that I think we face, for me, I think is the humans, whether the humans that work in front office or whether the humans that work at back office, wherever humans are involved, there's bound to be a lot of a challenge, because unless you're able to really, really, really define things. And Coach Sam was very thorough with these things. I used to work in the bank. I worked in the bank for 10 years before. I'd started Readers while I was working in the bank. So you can imagine by the time I opened Readers had systems, structure, all of that. You don't run it like it's a one-man business. No, even if you just have 3 people working for you, let it have a structure and a process. So he asked most of you earlier, if you're not there and someone comes into the business, can your office run? It should be able to run, because you really don't need to sit 24 hours. I'm not saying don't be there, but you don't need to sit 24 hours for a business to run. So that cycle, it's a cycle that you expect. So when you're doing your customer profiling, after that, there should be, after you've profiled this person that you want as your customer, now you put yourself in that person's position and take a journey through your store or your business and tell yourself, how do I want to feel when I walk into Readers? I know I want to be served. I'm not a dramatic person, so I don't like chaos. My space is minimal. Tell yourself all the things you want and keep writing. So when I come in as a customer, what do I want? I want to be served. Okay, you're taken to the consultation room, the ACs are on, you're being served tea. There are all these added services that you must incorporate in your business, whether it's a one-man business or 2 or small. Make them feel worthy of being in your space. They have to feel worthy of being in your space. You have to treat them like the kings that they are, because these are people that are trusting you. I tell my staff, we're doctors. We just don't go through, our surgeries are not on humans, but we're actually, so when it's mathematics, you have to be able to do the maths. If you get it wrong and that scissors goes into the fabric, you're in trouble. Because now you have to sit down. How do I fix this? How do I fix this? So you have to be deliberate. Take yourself through that journey. And that is just the customer's journey. But the customer's journey is in phases. The first phase is a consultation, where you get all the information you need from this person. And of course, the second phase with the customer will be fitting. I insist on fitting. Don't let any client tell you I cannot come in for fitting. If they don't come in for fitting, it's hard, it's handwork, unless if you have patterns for each client, which is very difficult to have patterns. In my business, I have, I don't know, probably how many hundreds of clients. I cannot keep pattern for every single person. It's a bit difficult, to cut patterns, but there are people that do major numbers with you that you must have their patterns. You must have their patterns stored, and so where every tailor can just pick up when work comes and they're able to do it. All this I'm saying might seem far-fetched, but it isn't, because it would take time. Like I said, take it slow, but you will grow. So when you do grow, these are things that you must put in place. So as Coach Sam had mentioned, you must have a process. So you go through the customer process, then you come back and do the production process. Okay, when we collect this fabric, how then do we move from that stage? Does it go into, is it a production room, a storeroom? You tell yourself, how you want to do it. I don't know. You know how you want to run your process. So you take that journey as well. You have to segment these journeys. And at the end of the day, this journey is coming together. Because at the end of the day, all you're looking for is one outfit that is right by your client. But the journey is very long. The journey is long. It starts from when they come in. The end is when they collect it. From when they come in to when they finally pick up. So imagine, don't you even feel honored that you've been through this process with this client? So that's why I say to you, you have to enjoy fashion to be able to do it. Especially if you're diving into bespoke. And then for someone like me, I do both. Where I get to really, really express my creativity is when I come to my ready-to-wear line, because that way I already know my clients, and I already know the kind of things that they would like. So it's easier for me to create, because you're not dealing with individual clients, like when you come back to bespoke and it's one client at a time and all of that. Yeah. I don't know what else to add or what else you'd like me to talk about. What would you guys like me, or what aspect would you guys like me to talk about? I guess at this point I'm probably open for questions, or just if you want to direct me to a certain, something that you guys are most interested in, I'll be happy to just talk about that, And yes, I'm actually starting a mentoring. I've been doing it really on the side, but I'm taking it more seriously now. So I'm mentoring because I feel you have to be able to give back. And I'm really, really ready to take that step with all of you. So if you wish to be part of my mentoring program, you will, Coach Sam would just put my, what do you call it? How do you do it? Coach Sam will put my, the
I already put that in the chat room.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your opportunity to tap into many years of hands-on experience, like we have both told you. Readers has clothed, if it's the right English, clothed the who is who really in this country and on the continent. Readers has operations in Dubai, has an office in the UK, well-traveled, highly experienced, very hands-on. In fact, I would like to say she can have what we like to play around with the word. Please mute your microphone. So I like to say that sometimes, not sometimes, always, I think she can come across as a perfectionist. Her work is cut tight. Like you just want to see a reader's outfit to know what I'm saying. Always on point. And her sense of creativity is just impeccable. So guys, if you want readers to mentor you, you have a golden chance, and please follow that handle. Send a DM. When you send a DM, her team will respond to you, and then you guys can take it up from that point. It's a very important thing. I strongly recommend that you should, and she's not asking you to pay a penny. So just before we introduce fees into this mentoring program, this is your chance to jump on the mentoring program and have access to all the information you can get. So I think there's a question for you, boss. Questions are in the chat room. I'll read some of them. Lovely says, as a young girl that is about to finish from a fashion school, how will I start making contact, or how people can start patronizing me? That's the first question. So when you answer that, I'll go to the next question.
Okay.
Guys, if you have questions, please put it in the chat room. I'll be reading your questions to readers, and then we can take it one after the other. So, boss, you may go on.
Okay. So as a young girl that's about to finish fashion school, how do you start making contacts, and how can people patronize you? You see, when we started, which is like 16 years ago, online businesses or even social media was very little at the time, very, very little. So I'll say to you, you can probably just get one person or maximum two people to work with you, but make sure it's an online platform for you, because you don't need a lot of costs at this point in time. I don't think you do. I think when you're able to sort of identify the market you're trying to serve, you'll be able to take things to the, slightly up from where you are currently, but do it online so that your cost is very, very low. Sometimes we don't like to spend money. I think Coach Sam has really talked about that. A lot of the times businesses don't like to spend money for either marketing or whatnot. And you're such a young brand that is coming up. So you would have to probably do things by yourself. Half the time we don't like people to know us. It took time for me to actually put myself out there where people are able to associate the brand with me. It was always just the brand. But I remember severally, I've had a lot of people coach me over the years. And I remember one of my coaches mentor in the UK, Toby, he said to me, "You've got to let people see you." And I'm like, "No, they don't need to see me. They just need to see the brand." He says, "No, right now, people need to see you because you are the brand. So Loveling, right now, you are your brand. You're not going to spend money on a model or an influencer or on marketing.
Yes.
You're going to be everything. He said to me, you wear many caps. Today you're flipping, you're the accountant because the accountant needs to talk about things with you. Tomorrow you're flipping, you're the creative person because you need to get into the frame, the space of being a creative. Tomorrow you're flipping, you're this. So you're going to wear many hats, many hats as you're starting on this journey. But as you evolve and grow, Loveling, you're going to let people in that buy into your vision and your dream. But right now, you're a one-man person. You would be that model for your business because nobody can sell it better than you.
Yes.
Nobody will ever be able to sell it better than you. So you make those things. Find 1-2 people to work with you, back office. You make those things. You create a feed that is, and social media these days, nobody wants anything crappy. I think it's gone beyond where people just buy because they're buying.
Yeah.
Or no. You need to make people see you. They need to see and feel you. They may not be able to feel you by way of touching, but they may be able to feel you, and people connect. So you should be able to sell to them, in a way that they're able to connect with you. It's a connection. So I, a while ago, maybe 2-3 years ago, randomly on Fridays, I just sort of dress up. If you come into my office, I'm never always all that dressed up because I'm always in the factory. But I make an effort on Fridays and I sort of just wear, I feel like, okay, Friday, let me just, and I just started, I'll just wear something and say, oh, Kwalir Juma'a. It became a big deal. That the weeks that they send me messages, oh, is there no Kwalir Juma'a? For some people, genuinely, they want to come, be part of your story. And so for some people, oh, what next? What can we copy from her? It's a different thing for different things for different people. But the point I'm trying to make is once I wear it, people can actually project themselves into it. As opposed to when you even give a model. Because, models, their bodies are all okay, but us with, someone like me, I have 3 children. So obviously, there's a sign of a mother in me. So people like to see those
don't
flaws.
go there. Your beauty is not here. Let's not go there.
People like to see those flaws. So my point is, you can just be you, but people can connect with you. So don't invest money, in certain things to, whether investing on models here, this market. No, not yet. You will get to that point. Not yet. So now you're everything.
Fantastic. Thank you, boss. That is on point. You have to show up. People buy into you before they buy into what you do. So lovely, and I hope that was very helpful. Boss, another question for you. Now, the questions are pouring in, so I'm hoping that you won't get tired soon.
No, I'm fine.
Peace says, what advice do you have for people working from home? And 95% of their customers are gotten online. Dresses are made and couriered to their clients. Do you have any advice for us? Thank you.
I didn't hear the question.
Okay. I broke off at a point. Let me ask it again. Yeah. It says, can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
It says, what advice do you have for people working from home whose customers, 95% of their customers are online? She makes dresses and sends to them via courier. So what advice do you have for her because she works from home?
I think what I would say to you is very similar to what I just told Lovely, because you're working from home. When you say you're working from home, how many, what is the capacity of the work that you do? It seems to me like it would be like something almost like fast fashion. This is what it seems like, right? It cannot be bespoke because it will be things that are the silhouettes are very straightforward. And it's usually, one size fits all kind of thing where you're not dealing with a lot of alterations and mending and all of that. I like to think this is what this person does. So what 95% of my clients are gotten online? I think whatever you're doing works for you, because if your clients are 95% of them are gotten online. You don't have a physical store, so you're saving yourself the cost. So that online that you're doing, just maximize it as much as you can. And perhaps if you're not also putting yourself out there, like I just told Loveling, you would have to do that. Maybe if to gain more traffic onto your page, you have to just constantly, because of the kind of work you do, you have to constantly produce new things, like almost on a regular basis, maybe, I don't know, weekly or 3 times a month, you have new outfits that you're marketing. I don't know how your structure is, so a little bit difficult for me to advise you clearly, but I feel it's almost similar to what I would say to Loveling. You are already there. You already have a platform, so you just need to push it and amplify it further by a lot of sponsored ads, and I guess that would be it. A little bit, yeah.
I think Peace and Loveling already should just conclude that they're going to join your mentoring program, because they're going to really get a lot of benefit from that. Let me go to Richard. Richard says, would love to know how you reduce your cycle time, optimize your processes, and if you could share practical nudges for micro businesses. So I think Richard is talking about reducing turnaround time and optimizing processes. I don't know how you can answer that in 1 minute.
When you have processes in place, it reduces waste of time. Like seriously, it does. Because see, even with the consultation with the clients, a client cannot sit you down for an hour. What are you telling me for 1 hour? You can't put me sitting down just listening to you for 1 hour. I'm not going to do that. And if you need me to do that and listen to you at this point, you must pay me. I don't consult anymore. I don't do that. Why? Because in my business, we've gotten to the point that there's just so much for you out there to kind of choose from, or to use something you sort of like or whatever. But if you need me to personally get involved and sit with you, I'm willing to do that before a fee. Correct. Because now you're tapping directly into my head.
Yes.
It means that I'm going to have to create something for you. So you must be willing to pay. So you reduce timing by, even when they come for consultation, don't keep people too long. You see the mistakes we do is over here in Nigeria, we rarely ask people to book appointments. But if people book appointments and know your schedule and they know that they only have 15 minutes with you, it shouldn't take long. You're giving me one outfit. You can tell me whatever you want within 15 minutes, to be honest. And then I go back in. I already have a, a fitting system. Fitting, yes. It means that our turnaround time, let's assume our turnaround time for a sewing is 15 days or 10 working days. 10 working days will be like 2 weeks, right? Yes. Yeah. Our turnaround time is 10 working days. It means that depending on what you're making, it could be that the tailor that would make it for you is not even a very busy tailor, because what you're asking for is not complex. So if we give you 10 days, we can actually even send you a message by the 5th day that is ready for fitting. The client will be excited.
Yes.
So, Richard, what you're asking me is a lot of things that I cannot say in 1 minute, because I have to, I have to go through the process. And so you kind of see how, to navigate through all of these things. I don't know. I hope I've been able to.
Fantastic. That really works. What you've said is, if you pay attention to the process enough, you will see that it's efficient and it cuts down a lot of waste of time. Processes always save you time. That is very, very correct. Thank you, boss, for that. Anita says, it's been worth it. This has been worth it. My business is at the growing stage. I have a handful of clients already, but pricing my product is my greatest challenge. Boss, what do you say to that? Pricing.
Anita, so I know pricing is a challenge for most people, but you have to take like very, as in detailed. So if maybe your thread is 100 naira, it has to, your thread, light, and all those things can form part of, you can lump those and call it whatever you want to call it when you're pricing an outfit. you know. You need to be able, I know it's a challenge because I know it's actually a huge challenge pricing these things, but at the end of the day, even your time must be put in that product. And this is what people don't see, the time you personally put in making or creating those things. These are things that must be included when pricing. So whenever you come up with a price and you tell yourself, obviously after putting all these factors in place, you put your markup, which usually isn't more than 25%. I think so, right, Coach Sam? I think it's about 25% markup.
Yes.
You put your markup on the outfit. Even if it scares you, it is right. And don't let anyone tell you that you're expensive. You're not. Readers, we've been sewing for the past 16 years, and we started sewing from 5,000. I can tell you that Readers charges our cheapest outfit right now, if you actually want to work to sew with us, is 70,000. That's the baseline from 5,000. So I'm not expensive. I'm just for a selected few.
Yes.
So you tell yourself, if clients are telling you, oh, you're expensive, or you're feeling in a certain way because you feel like you've overpriced, no, it's because you're not even looking at things that you should have included, like your timing, like all those sleepless nights that you're having. Those are all costs that you can't even quantify.
Wow. Thank you so much, boss. Very, very valid. Very valid. Because pricing, in almost every business, pricing is a very, very sensitive and dicey stuff. So you need to know the maths, you need to know the science, you need to understand the language of markup, etc. I think I will keep repeating this. If you're not signing up for mentoring with Rukaya, I think that you may not be maximizing this session. This session is just a 3-hour session that will end in about 1 hour, 15 minutes. There's so much you cannot take from here in this one class. So joining Rukaya's mentoring program is non-negotiable, if you ask me, very basically. Talking about pricing, I think this is a good place for me to tell you to buy my book called Fans Don't Pay. There is a whole chapter in Fans Don't Pay, my book, that talks about pricing. My team will tell you how to buy it. They'll put that in the chat room. They will give you a discount for you to buy just copies today. Anyway, you are in Nigeria, they're going to send a copy to you, and they will advise you on how to get this book, how to price. It's a big issue in most businesses. So, boss, thank you so much. Let me go to the next question. There is a big question here. I don't know how you can answer that because it's a big question. Messi Ojali Abalaka, I think your question may have to be answered in the mentoring program, but I will ask it anyway.
I have read it already.
Because this is a very big question. How to build a sustainable fashion brand is a big question. I don't know if you answered. I think that you should do the mentoring program, but boss, what would you say about that? Maybe in 30 seconds.
Messi, join the what's telling you? Join the mentoring program. Sustainable fashion.
Yes.
I think people are more conscious these days. They're very cautious of what they're wearing, where it's coming from, who, and all those things. And for you to be asking, it means that you've done your due diligence on that. But the truth is, it is not one of those things that is the easiest, because there's a lot of things going on in sustainable fashion for you to be able to even. I met someone, we went fabric shopping, and she's into sustainable fashion, and she was looking for linen, and she was really looking for linen that has no, in it. And it could be a little bit complicated in some places, not complicated, but I think it's just accessibility to those materials or those kind of things. I really don't know, Messi, but this is a huge topic, sustainable fashion.
Yes.
I swear, I know it's a huge one.
It's a huge topic. So I see Messi is asking to my team, please post the IG handle for C by Rukaya, the mentoring program. Please, Messi, scroll through the chat room. They'll repost the handles, follow the IG handles, send a DM, someone will reach you, and the mentoring program you'll be adopted into the mentoring program. Everyone on this call, especially if you are a starting fashion brand, maybe from 0 to 3 years, I think it's mandatory for you to join the mentoring program. It is just very important. You're talking to someone who has done this for 16 years at the very top level, not just in Nigeria, but at the global level. So you can't get it wrong. You can't miss it. I think you should consider this very importantly. Oluwatoyin is asking you, what percentage of earnings should go for running the business, boss?
What percentage of earnings should go into running the business? It depends on the level that you are at, Oluwatoyin. If you're a startup, you would have to, at this point, the business has not even broken even. You have to just keep reinvesting and reinvesting until you're able to grow, right? So I think
True.
it depends on the level you're playing. That's how I see it. What percentage of earnings should put running the business? It has to be on the level that you're currently operating. Then you already know your cost of production. You already know all those costs. You already know. It's like when you say to me, how much do you spend on just production accessories? I already know. How much do you do this? I already know. So it's easy for me to say this part of earnings goes towards. You can't define it. You can't determine it just like that, because especially, I don't know whether you just do bespoke or ready to wear. So if you're doing bespoke, the numbers change month in, month out. There are months like, for instance, in my business, let's say this week alone, maybe we've collected assuming, it's just an assumption, maybe 200 fabrics. Next week, it could be 50. At the end of the month, it could be 500, but maybe last month it was 800. So I think these things change. It fluctuates. It's just an average that you work with. So we know averagely, like for diesel, when the money is, when the diesel is high, the price is high, we know what we're spending. So then by the time you lump all those things, then you now know what percentage of earnings should go towards running that business for that month. It's not how do you say it?
Not casting concrete.
Yes, exactly. Thank you.
Yes. One thing you've said that is very correct is depending on the age of your business. If you're starting a business, let's be honest, almost everything is going back in the business.
Yes.
Because, guys, let's see. I can tell you this authoritatively. Rukaya and I, by God's grace, we've done business for so many years. How we started was literally slaving for this, our vision. Everything was going inside the business. And some of us, someone like me, my marriage was even threatened because plus the family money, plus everything is going inside the business. Because so now people look back and they're saying, the octopus, big name, hey, there were days when everything went into the business, but now the business is taking care of us.
Yes.
And like Reverend Samademi will always say, if you take care of your business will take care of you. Business will always take care of you, but you have to pay your dues. And
so I like my business as a baby. I treated Readers, because Readers was my third baby. I had 2 kids before Readers and one after Readers. So I treated Readers like a child of mine. I was nurturing this business. Like I would nurture my children to growth, So it's 16 years now. So I think this is a time you need to put in that business and watch it grow. It's like planting a seed and watching it, grow.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. That question is very good question, Oluwatoyin. Thank you for asking. Pam Dauda is asking, good morning, ma'am. Please, how did you handle startup capital, workers, pricing, payment, and tax? Big question there, Pam. Let's see how we can answer that. But this is a mentoring question. But let's see what readers can do with that question in 1 minute.
So I think for all of us, our startup capital would have come from one place or the other. For me, I think I mentioned I worked in the bank for 10 years. My startup capital came at the time where we had gotten, what do you call it? There's this allowance that they pay us. Yes. And I had just given birth to my daughter, my first daughter, and my tailor at the time lived in Lagos. And, women were very finicky with our fabrics and all of that. And so I sent my stuff to her and it came back not what I wanted. And it sat in that closet for nearly a year. And don't forget, I mean, I grew up in a house where there were usually, my father was doing a lot of hosting. So people constantly came dressing up. My mom and my stepmom, they can sew and all of those kind of things. So I grew up around people that were fashionable, or even if it was just to come into the house for some function, you see people that very, well-dressed,
Yes.
So for me, it was two things. It came from my love for fashion as a child, and but the business came as a result of a disappointment also. So when I got that money, I just met my husband and I said, to show you that I was a novice at it as well, I met my husband and said, I am going to start a fashion business. He said, really? I said, yes. I said, this money that I've gotten from the bank, I'm going to invest it in the business. And, I just had a daughter. My daughter's name is Rita. And so I was like, oh, I got a name and all of that. I went to Lagos. You can imagine flying to Lagos to get, to buy sewing machines at the time, only to come back to Abuja. And then the guys that were helping me to set up, he looked at me and looked at those things and said, ma'am, the tailors I have cannot work on these machines. I said, what? What kind of machines? I was a novice, Coach Sam. I didn't know Jack. I said, what do you mean? He said, no.
Oh my goodness.
He said, this is butterfly machine. They use industrial machine. I said, nah, shiga uku. What am I
my goodness.
Yes, it was so funny. But I like it because these are my stories. As I'm sharing with you, I'm getting goosebumps and I'm laughing about it. But at that point in time, I was like, okay, are you sure you're ready for this? Because it's not what it seems like. You can imagine having to send those things back to Lagos. And then he says to me, well, you're going to have to air condition this place. I'm like, but Tailor Bunny. He said, no, it's not that kind of tailor. It's not that kind of tailor and all of that. So you can imagine.
Wow.
If I had my little, if I remember well, I would have started readers of maybe 1 point something million at the time, maybe 1.5. Because I saved up. Yes.
My goodness.
Yes, I did. So, and then I had 4 tailors, I had 4 machines. I got a BQ space for them. They were living in one room. I was working in one room, and customers will come, my dear. Even now, as I'm thinking about it, it's like, wow, a lot of the times we don't pay attention to our growth and the things we went through to be here.
Honestly.
Because
those your day one customers are the real MVP.
They are, and I still have them. And when Coach Sam was talking about customers, my God, naturally I'm how do you say it? I'm an introvert. Like I like to keep to myself. I know my profile doesn't look like that, but I'm an introvert. But in the course of this work, and you have to be open, you have to be honest, you have to, because the people I have met, I am not joking, I don't know who is here, but I can pick up my phone and send Mrs. Oshibanjo a message, she will respond to me. I can pick up my phone and send a message to Aisha Buhari, she'll respond to me. I can pick up my phone and any governor's wife, the ones in my circle. But the truth is, I do not abuse relationships. I don't. If I send them a message, it's basically something has happened and I'm saying congratulations, or I'm saying I sympathize with you. Or it's just, I don't even send all those random messages, Eid, Christmas, Happy New Year. I don't do that. So even though I have access to these people, I do not abuse relationships. Right. You must learn. You must talk to yourself, because sometimes it gets in our head and we feel like, okay, I know you were,
right.
No. And you must also be humble. I have seen women that come into my businesses that are younger than me. If she's a governor's wife, I address her, Your Excellency. I do not know. I don't even care. Okay, you're younger. Age does not matter. I am of service to you. What do you want me to do? You tell me and I'll get it done for you. Before you know it, people that were just your business partners in terms of, the work that you're doing, they become more of, these are your sisters. The second lady of Nigeria that will be today addresses me as my sister. I've known her for 12 years, Mrs. Shetima. She is one client that even if I'm sleeping before now and they say I have work, I open my business to them. Imagine if I've abused that relationship. I will not be here. Today, I will not. I was in her house last weekend and this woman walked me to the car. I said, Excellence, she said, sister, stop. You must learn. These people will come to you. It is not anything, but you must learn to keep a relationship where it is. Don't abuse it. I don't abuse relationships. I don't. I am not joking. If I send Mrs. Oshibanjo a message, she will respond. Any one of them, call them. I didn't want to mention names, but I had to, just so you understand, not to abuse relationships with people, so that you can go on the ride for so long. You can imagine my ride with the Shetima family. It's been going on for what, over 12 years? Do you understand?
Wow.
If at some point I had taken advantage of that relationship, we will not be here today. Until tomorrow, they're still doing business with you. Until tomorrow, they will recommend you to people. But you have to be humble. When people come your way, don't be arrogant. You know, sometimes when the money starts to come in or when the fame starts to creep in, people become arrogant. Talk to yourself in the morning. I'm going out. This is my bread. And, you know, the good things will follow me and I will remain humble. I will remain humble. I don't know if I deviated. I think I deviated. I don't even remember the question.
No, this is just priceless. This is just priceless. Honestly, this is just priceless. Thank you so much, boss, for that. So we have 3 minutes before I free you, but I'm going to ask one more question. Amarachi asked the question about funding, and I think that you have answered it with this last question that was asked, because you have talked about how you used your income from the bank and you know, but so I think
Coach Sam,
you
know, at some point when I needed more money, I had jewelry, like gold jewelry and all of that when you get married, they send you to your husband's house with, or the groom. And my dear, if you have to pawn those things to do the things you want to do, please pawn them. They will come back in folds.
One time.
It will come back in folds that you cannot even imagine. Because what is an asset that I don't wear all those things. I'm just keeping them. Let me invest it in the business. It's an investment that will come back to you.
True.
Once the business grows, you're able to take out whatever investment you put in the business. And all those things that you think are an asset that are just sitting and lying there, not, you know, doing anything of service to you, will be handy. And then sometimes, you know, it could be family that just want to put things together for you because they see your dedication. You know, it's hard for people to give you their money. And then they're not sure of even your commitment to this, because the going will get tough before it gets easy. It will be tough. Like I said, there was a day I sacked every single person that worked for me. I did it. So that was when the going was tough. But it did not stop, because I had a vision, I had a dream, and I was willing to take that dream to where it needs to be. We're not yet there. We're still on the road, man. That bus, we're still on it. We're still on the road, you know, getting to that destination. So I don't know if I answered you properly. The person asking for funding.
It's very valid.
And then, you know, there all this, Coach Sam, you know, all those people that give money, grant and all those things. Maybe you can try those avenues also. Who knows? You can be one of the lucky ones, even if it's just a seed of hope of like maybe 500, 1 million, 2 million. I think there's some of those grants all over the place. I don't know if they're still on or not. I'm not sure, to be honest.
Wow.
Yes.
I love that. I love that. In fact, because of what you said, we're going to have a short conversation about investing in your business. Because when you were speaking, it just came off my head. Like, one, you have to sell your jewelries. That was an asset you had that paid off in your business. Some people may have to buy, sometimes you may just, you know, and this is very pragmatic, guys. You need to ask yourself, what assets can I buy now that may come handy for my business later?
Yes, absolutely.
You have to ask yourself that question. What assets can I buy now that can come handy in my business
And
later?
what liability can I let go of? Sometimes the money starts to come in and you want to show off, you want to buy this. Stop by bio, because right now the business needs to grow. So what asset can I buy now and what liability can I let go of?
Yes.
If
Yes.
anything is a
Very, very
liability, you have to exit. So you make
very,
room.
very important. Yes. One other thing we must mention today is that you have to invest in yourself. Boss, I would like you to
Yes,
I think we should. I want you to tell us.
Yes, I will do that. I started by saying, we were all laughing about my experience with the initial setup of readers and all of that. It shows you that I was a novice. I said it came from a place of, seeing it as a child growing up and being around people fashionable and all of that. And then as a result of bad service. So I wanted to cater from the onset. I wanted to cater for women like me. I knew who I wanted to cater for. But in doing that, I had a 9-to-5 job. I was working in the bank. I had to go back to school. Any opportunity I have to learn, there's a fashion academy here. I can't remember what's the name of that fashion academy. I think it's still going on. I had to go there. Okay. I think I did a course with them, but the majority of my courses, I took them in the UK, in London College of Fashion and Central St. Martin's. I spent money on those courses. I worked at the end of one time, I traveled for nearly 3 months, I think, or so. I can't remember. But at the end, I was fagged out. I was too drained. But I knew I needed to invest in myself, because I don't want a situation where you're asking me something. I'm clueless. I cannot be clueless. Yeah. And at that point, I knew this is a journey that I cannot do alone. I need partners, in the sense that I need to work with the likes of Coach Sam, with the likes of Toby, with the likes of Florence. Be open to anybody that you think you can benefit from. Till tomorrow, I know I benefit a lot from Coach Sam. Forget that, he tells you I'm an industry leader, no problem. I agree, but no problem. But, you know that there's sometimes that you need people. So when you make these connections, don't lose them. Don't lose those connections when you make them, so that you can reference back at any point in time, even if it's just to say hello, hi, and all of that. So I knew at some point I had to invest in myself, which I did. I spent a lot of money. I was spending pounds to train myself so I can be where I am today. I did that. And I'm constantly learning new skills, because in this line of business that we are, you must constantly be appraised for what is new, what is new, because you can't be lost in your own world and say, this is what I know and this is sufficient. No, it's not. It's not sufficient, because there's always something coming out, something else, even things to simplify your work. So instead of, like I went and got those butterfly machines, but they're using industrial sewing machines that are so easy, Now,
oh my God, that's
use those ones again, because the ones that they currently have, they're soundproof, so there's no noise, all that that the tailor's machine does, it no longer does that, So it doesn't matter where you're coming from. And one thing I know I mentioned a lot in this conversation today is passion. If passion is one thing, it will keep you going, but you must have the skills to back it up. Passion will keep you going, but the skills will take you even further. And no one will take whatever you've acquired from you. Never. Yes. Because you acquired it. I say with my tailors, I had a tailor one time and I come and say, let's do this. He says it's not possible. I said, what is impossible in fashion? Fashion is fashion. So it means anything is possible. Twist this.
I know that about you. I know that about you. Very dogged.
You cannot tell me it's not possible. Let's try it out. I tell you, I'll end with this. I really wish I can stay much longer with you people, but my mentoring handle will be put by Coach Sam, and I'll connect with most of you there. Like you said, before we decide to start charging, you take advantage of that offer and just sign up, and let's see what we can do or how I can help. I cannot help you totally, but if you pick something, one thing, then we can try to focus on it, because it'll be hard for me to help everyone. So I may not be able to help everyone, but if you take something that is very paramount to you at this point in time, let's say maybe you're struggling with Tailor issues, and I can tell you how I did mine, and we can work on that, things like that. So at the start of this week, I talked about how we started making boo-boos after the lockdown, and the year we started those boo-boos, I think lockdown, it was opened around June or July, I can't remember. Every week we were turning out a new boo-boo. Don't forget, my boo-boos are not cheap. We were selling out till December. The last we did in December, I said, I am tired. I said, I am tired, because it got to a point that I had like a creative block. I couldn't think. I needed to just cool off. We did not make that boo-boo again for nearly 3 or 4 months. Randomly, if I wish to, we will. If I don't, we take it like, but I mean, we were so consistent from June till December. Every week we were turning out a new boo-boo. We gave it a name and we sold out. So you need to know your capacity. You need to know, you have to tell yourself, I can do it, because you can do it. If you believe, then every other thing is just, child's play, and everybody will buy into it. Yes, I cannot tell you, but Coach Sam, it is so real. And we sold out, and we're still, my God, till tomorrow, people come with their fabrics to make them. You must believe in yourself. Yes. So last week, Friday, Saturday, I can't remember. I was in the factory with the staff, the tailor and staff now. And I was trying out a new boo-boo. So we made the first version of it. First, I would cut a pattern. Anything that I'm not confident in, especially, if there are new things that we're trying, we always will cut patterns. So they cut the pattern, and I looked at it on the dummy. I was like, yeah, it's fine. Can someone wear it? A staff of mine wore it. And we looked at, I said, okay, do one sample. They took the fabric. They went, I said, no, I can't sell this. It's not yet sellable to me. This was on a Friday. On Saturday, they had gone a bit far. They brought it, and I was seated with a friend of mine, a common friend with Coach Sam, Hadiza, and she says, "Oh, I'm always the last to see." You can imagine we have not yet even gotten to the last version, but people are already buying.
My goodness!
Yes, why? Because you've been able to build that brand to a level where people know that when she puts out a boo-boo, or when readers, it's not about me. Let's get things right. It's not me. It's readers. Brand. So if readers put out a boo-boo, let's assured there can be similar things, but theirs is always different. There's something about this. It may not be complicated. For whatever reason, they know why they're buying. I really don't know, but I just want them to buy if they feel good in it. Okay. They brought this pattern to us, and not a pattern now, made on 102. And I looked at it and I wore it. And suddenly I got a call, Mrs. Shatima wanted to see me and all of that. So, and I had dressed down. I think I was wearing a pair of jeans, and I just needed to change because, politicians, you don't want to go to the house wearing jeans. So I needed to look a little bit responsible. Not that I'm irresponsible. It was just, I just needed to wear. So I told them to give me one of those boo-boos, and I wore it. All right. Now, me wearing the boo-boo allowed me to feel the boo-boo. And I came back and I said, no, this boo-boo is not ready. And they're like, huh? I said, yes. Losing it completely. The neckline isn't sitting well for me. You're losing the embroidery. Let's bring up the neck because, my clients are very modest. The neckline is low. We went through all of that. Guess when that boo-boo, finally, we got a right pattern? Day before yesterday. On Thursday. Wow. Yes. So once they finished the last version of it and I wore it, I said, now we have a boo-boo. Now I can sell. So one thing with me is I never sell anything that I cannot wear. If I sell to you, it means I can wear it. If I cannot wear it, I'll never sell it because I can't market it. So for someone like Loveline and the other lady that asked a question, I can't remember who, if you wear that outfit and you cannot sell it, trust me, nobody will buy it. But if you wear it and you look at the mirror and you know you're looking good in it, somebody else will buy it. So my motto for a very long time, one of the things that I keep at the back of my head is, if I cannot wear it, I cannot sell it.
Word.
Yes.
Word. Wow.
So guys, I am cheering you on. You can do it. If readers can do it, your brands can do it. If I can do it, as managers in your fields, as directors in your offices, you guys, you can do it. You just have to believe in yourself, be humble, and stay focused. And of course, a lot of prayer. I'm a very prayerful person. So at the top of everything that I do, I put God. So you just keep being prayerful about all these things, and the rest is history.
Wow. Pause. This session has been way more than I expected. I didn't expect anything less, and it's blown my mind. I'm sure everybody, there are so many questions I can't ask them now. I will have to find a way to reroute these questions. But guys, this session, we couldn't have answered all your questions, but I'm happy with where we have. We need to let readers go because she has another session. She's in school. Like she told you, she's a very spiritual person. So she's undergoing another program.
Yes, I have to go for my spiritual, have a class.
Yes. So boss, we're going to reach out to you later, follow up on the mentoring program, and thank you for availing of time this morning.
And thank you too. Thank you for having me. Anytime, you know anything for Coach Sam, I'm there.
I'm grateful, boss. I don't take it for granted. Thank you so much,
I don't
boss.
either.
Fantastic.
And guys, have a beautiful
day. Fantastic.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Bye, guys. Bye.
Bye. So, guys, continuing from where Rukaya left it, I'm going to attempt to answer some of the questions. If I can, we still have about 45 minutes to the end of our scheduled time because we're going to stop at 10 o'clock wherever we stop. I stopped at the last question I attempted, we answered was Amarachi's question. So I'm going to continue from Kudirat's question. But before I continue, if this thing has been worth your time at all, if you don't think your data has been wasted, you don't think your time has been wasted, please, I want you to send your favorite emoji in the chat room. Just put something in the chat room that makes us know that this has been worth your time so far. This has been worth your time so far. Just let us know. Put your favorite emoji, like, so we know that we have not been wasting your time. It's very, very key. It's very key for us to know that we've not been wasting your time. Put your favorite emoji in the chat room. Let's be sure that we've not been wasting your time, and by virtue of that, also wasting our time. Okay, I'm loving what I see in the chat room. So our viewers on YouTube, I understand that you're not able to see the link for Rukaya's handle on Instagram. So I'm going to do something very quickly. I'm going to up a slide that would show you her handle so that you can follow it. I'm going to put up a slide quickly where you can quickly follow her handle because I want everybody to have access to her handle. So give me a minute. I'm going to put up a slide where we can project her handle on the screen, and then, you guys can have access to it. Let me just quickly put up a slide so you can see her handle and follow it. So let me quickly do that now. Good. So I'm just going to project her handle on the screen, and then everybody can follow it, just in case you haven't been able to do so, especially for our viewers on YouTube. Let me quickly show you her handle so that you can follow the handle on Instagram. Don't forget, she is interested in mentoring as many people as possible. It is still free, which means that you may not have all you want, but it's going to go a long way. So ladies and gentlemen, here is the handle to follow. I'm going to leave it on the screen for a few minutes while I go back to the questions and answer the questions. The book, how much is Fans Don't Pay? Did we put the price in the chat room? How much is the price you're giving? So ladies and gentlemen, the book Fans Don't Pay is selling for 4,000 Naira only today, because the original price is 6,000 Naira. Did you put the account details they should pay to? The account details will be put in the chat room now so that you all can have access to it. It is only today, but the amount is exclusive of delivery, please. Exclusive of delivery costs, because you may be in Zamfara and tell us that you paid 4,000 Naira. It does not include your delivery costs. But when you pay, please send your name and number with proof of payment to our number so that we can follow you up and discuss how you will get your book. Sorry, that number I typed there is wrong. Let me just quickly edit that. So please send your name and proof of payment to the number so that we can reach you to discuss how you will get your book. To our viewers on YouTube, please see the image on the screen and follow the handle by Rukaya so that you can enjoy what we are enjoying on Zoom. So please, let me reshare the screen. This is the handle you should follow for the mentoring. This is the mentoring handle, please. So let me quickly attend to So let me go back to some questions. I want to go back to, I have to scroll so far to find the last question we were about to answer. Okay. So I think the last question was, okay, I've reached the last question. The last question I was going to attend to was from Kudirat Olawumi Rufai. He said, my question is for a brand still growing. Is it advisable to take interns that will learn and work for you, knowing fully well they can decide one day they are not coming again? For your brand that is growing, everybody has to support your work. As many people that can grow with you, bring them in. As a growing brand, it is too early for you to expect loyalty. It is still too early for you to expect anybody to stay with you forever. It is still too early because you don't even have the means to pay them what they need to be paid. So don't have that expectation behind your mind. What you want to do as a starting brand, as a growing brand, anybody that can help you in a short term, let them come in. Don't start thinking this person will stay with me for 2 years. This person will stay with me for 3 years. It is still too early. So please don't put that expectation as part of your project or strategy. For a starting out brand, let people work with you and support you. All you're thinking is support, not work, not my employees, not my employees. No, you need support. So don't put that as an expectation. It will break your heart. I'm going to be very quick with the answers because of time. Anita said, I'm everything in my business. It's overwhelming, but I love it so much. And you just gave me energy to keep pushing. Thank you, Anita. How do you structure a fashion business efficiently when you are not physically present to supervise the process of production and the business is at a startup stage? Fisayomi, first and foremost, this may not be good for you to start a business that you are not physically present to oversee. If you're interested in fashion business, but you don't have time to oversee, go into the trading of fashion. Fisayomi, if you want to start a fashion business that you may not be physically present to oversee, please trade that business instead of doing the business. What that means is do a middleman strategy. Middleman. Be a middleman in that industry and make money from being a middleman instead of starting production. Don't go into production if you are not there to oversee and supervise it effectively, unless you have somebody you can beat your chest and say, this person is as good as me being in this business. If you are lucky to have somebody like that, perfect. If you don't start production until you can supervise production. Do not start production until you can supervise production. I'll say it one last time. Do not start production until you can supervise production. Otherwise, be a middleman. Thank you. Visayomi says, also, any tips on managing fabric waste by staff during production? Well, I think that this goes into training because different people have different value systems and perspectives. So you may have to be, like Rukaya told you, she's always in the factory. Rukaya, despite her level, stature, and her traveling, her itinerary, she's always supervising production. She's always in the factory. Don't be theoretical about this kind of issues of fabric waste. You have to be on ground, training, teaching, giving feedback, measuring, observing. That it has to be an on-ground thing. Very key. Patricia Adesanya says, we're an online store. We do ready to wear and sell fabrics. We are currently looking out for great garment manufacturers because we are also very particular about our finishing. We are based in Lagos. Please join her mentoring. I know that Rukaya has a lot of connects. Turkey, Dubai, China. There was this other country she used to go to. She travels a lot. She has a lot of relationships internationally. So Patricia, joining Rukaya's mentoring program will do you a lot of favor, So Abdullahi Jibril says, please, what are the key features to take into consideration when starting a ready-to-wear or past, I don't know if you meant past fashion business? Key consideration. Well, I'm going based on my experience working with fashion businesses. This is what I think you should consider. One, Rukaya has said, know the niche you want to enter. That's number one. Two, know the target market. Who are you serving? Three, build a strong relationship with your target market. Four, be the model of your business first. Five, keep selling, keep showing up. These things are very key. Then I can add number six, cut your cost as much as you can so that your profit can make sense. So I'm sure when you go back to the replay, you can put together the pieces of information and it will give you a comprehensive information that you can use. So I'm going to stop answering questions at 9:30 because I need to tell you where do we go from here based on the things that we have shared so far. Where do we go from here? So much being posted here. Okay. So let me see the last few things posted. How do you structure, Fisami says, how do you structure a fashion business efficiently? Okay, I think I've answered that. I'm interested in learning more. Okay. I think the mentoring would help. Do not start. Okay, yeah. I'm scrolling from the bottom up now. So let me see. Think support, not expectations. Yes. Esther Massa, you joined late. Apology accepted, even though next time don't do it again. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm loving all I'm seeing. Ladies and gentlemen, don't forget that after this session is done, you can watch this on YouTube. It is going to be on YouTube for as long as YouTube exists. So go back to YouTube. In case you missed anything, we're not sending any replay to anybody. Just go to YouTube and watch it. Go to YouTube and watch the replay from the beginning. I have something I want to introduce to all of you. Pam Dowda says, talking about managing fabric waste, like it can be recycled. Thank you. There is no functioning fabric recycling industry in Nigeria. I've made my research and I've paid someone to make research on this too. I haven't burnt or thrown my dirt in over 3 years. I hope to start a recycling industry in time. Honestly, I salute you. I salute you, Pam. This is very valid. I think you can go into, you can even recreate these fabrics and do all these rag days, and there are just some crazy fashions you can use combinations of fabric to do. I love this, Pam. I love this very fantastic idea. So ladies and gentlemen, let me ask a question. Do you want me and my team to help your business? Kudirat says, what is the name? Okay, who is taking a bath there? Please mute your microphone. Thank you. Omolara, kindly mute your microphone. Okay, so let me ask again before Omolara was gracious enough to distract us with bathing and no bathing. So, do you want my team and I to help your business? Let me be sure. You want us to be involved in your business. We have a 10 weeks. We have a 10 weeks window to help your business. I have put together a team, including myself. We have created 10 weeks window. We want to support some businesses. No, Molara is okay. We understand. So I have worked with so many businesses in fashion, and I've seen a lot of problems. And I feel that we should support some of you. We had 470 people register for this session. We had at a point 80 people joined this session live. On YouTube right now, we have 21 people who are currently live watching on YouTube out of 470 people that registered. We're still going to reach out to the remaining people who did not join by telling them to join, to follow the content on YouTube. However, we are only able to support very few people. So I'm going to show you a page now, and you're going to decide which option works for you. I can tell you categorically that if you delay in making up your mind, you will lose your slot. We cannot support more than 10 businesses. If you want to be one of the 10, I want you to type a number between 1 and 10 now. If you want to be one of the 10, type a number between 1 and 10 now. You know that you have to be one of the 10. So as you are typing your number in the chat room, you must also match it with action. Lovely says, what of me that has not finished fashion school? When we show you the offers, you will decide which works for you. There are 4 different offers we're going to put up now. I must tell you to take advantage immediately. So I'm going to show you a page now. There are 4 offers. I will explain each offer, and only 10 people cumulatively would enjoy any of the offers. We cannot take more than 10 businesses because we want to give you the best quality. So here are the offers available to you. The first offer is that I will do 2 Zoom calls with you in 1 month. Each call will be 2 weeks apart, and each call will be 90 minutes. I will schedule a Zoom call with you 2 times in 1 month. Each call will be 2 weeks apart, and each call is 90 minutes. Only you and me. We will sit down on a Zoom call, 90 minutes. I will listen to you like this. I will give you my strategic advice. If I can get Rukaya's time, I may bring her on the call, and she will support that call with giving you counsel. Only 5 businesses can take this offer. Option A, offer A is only 5 businesses that will take it. And it is going for only 200K. The original cost of this call is 360K, but we're making it available for only 200K. So only 5 businesses can take option A. Once we hit the 5th payment, we're not collecting payment from anybody. We will return your money. Only 5 businesses. My team will put the account details for these offers in the chat room, BSG. And only the first 5 payments of the option A will be honored. Once we hit the 5th payment, we will return your money because we cannot attend to more than 5. I have to be available for only 5 people in option A. Option B is a little upgrade above option A. Option B is that I will call you twice in a month via Zoom call, and I will physically visit your business. This is limited to only Abuja businesses because I'm currently in Abuja. However, I'm supposed to spend 2 weeks in Lagos from next week. So if you're in Lagos and you want option B, I can see your business in the next 2 weeks. I have 2 weeks I'm spending in Lagos from next week. So Lagos people, you can take advantage of option B because I'll be in Lagos for 2 weeks next week. Abuja people, you can take advantage of this. I can see you anytime. There are only 3 businesses that can take option B. Option A, only 5 businesses can take option A. Only 3 businesses can take option B. It is going for 400K. The value is 500K, but we're giving you at 400K. Option A, the value is 360K. We're giving you at 200K. 5 slots for option A, 3 slots for option B. Once the slots are full, we will not take your money. We will return it back to you. Option C, we are going to design, we have over 10 years experience supporting businesses in fashion. We already have a solution. All the processes we talked about, we have them. All the short junctions we talked about, we have them. All the KPIs we talked about, we have them. All the pricing models, we have them. Everything has been documented. We will send it to you. You will do the implementation by yourself. I will call you twice in a month. I will visit your business once, and we will send you all the solution in one package. You will download it and implement it on your end. Only 10 people can take this option. Only 10 people, because the solution is done remotely. So this is for 10 people. The value is 1.5 million naira, but you can have it for half the amount, which is 750K. 10 slots only, and you lose your slots if you don't take any of the 10 slots. I recognize there are business owners here from Utopia and Kigali. If you are one of them, let us know. I understand there are some fashion designers here from Utopia and Kigali. I understand we have some in Accra. For those of you in any of these locations, we will ramp up your benefits because I will not be physically in your business, but we would give you these benefits and an additional value if you take any of these options. So for those outside Nigeria, you can take this option. For those in Nigeria, wherever you are in Nigeria, I will fly to you if you take option C. If you take option C, wherever you are in Nigeria, I'm going to fly to you. Another benefit of option C is that we have a summit holding on June 10th. You already have 2 slots automatically to attend the summit. It is holding in Abuja at Fraser Suites. If you take option C, you're going to have free 2 slots to attend the summit as part of your benefit for taking option C. Then the last option, which is the big option, only one business can take option D, only one. We're giving you the full project package. My team will move into your business and we will sit with you for 7 weeks and we will discuss and build your business for you for 7 weeks. We're going to be in your business. We're not doing remote. We're not calling you. We're coming fully to implement for you for 7 weeks. Only one slot is available. Only one. It is usually for 5 million naira. Now, Rukaya told you that I have been her coach since 2016. Rukaya paid this amount, 5 million naira, to hire me to coach her. But for only one business on this call, we're giving that at 2.5 million only, 50%. Only one business can take it. We are not doing more than one for option D. So option A, 5 slots. Option B, 3 slots. Option C, 10 slots. Option D, 1 slot. This is the event you are getting free pass. For options C and D, you are attending these double events if you subscribe. So it is key for you to register for option C or D if you want to enjoy these 2 events free of charge. If you register for option C or D, you are having access to these 2 events automatically, 2 slots for you and anybody in your business. Here are some of the things you need to understand about the options. If an option is taken, the slots for other options will reduce. If an option is taken, the slots for other options will reduce because we want to give maximum attention. All options, especially the full option, option D, it is full payment only. Once we receive full payment from one business, every other person would have to wait. We are giving room for anybody that wants option D, but cannot pay full option now. You will pay 500K deposit to secure a slot for later. You will pay, 625K deposit. That's 25% deposit. You pay 25% deposit for option D. If you are not ready now, you have to pay a down payment so that later when you are ready, we will activate your projects. Option C and D come with the following services. 1, we will capture your processes. 2, we will design your staff handbook. 3, we will design your SOP. That's your standard operating procedures. D, we will design your staff hiring process so that we will determine whether you need to restaff or rehire or, whatever modalities are required in your business. Then I will sit with you, the founder, for 7 weeks. For option D, 7 weeks. For option C, once. And then option D, when we have finished your implementation, you have 6 months post-implementation support. We're going to support you for 6 months after you have finished your project. So these are the 4 options available to you. I'm going to go back to that previous slide. Remember, only 10 businesses cumulatively will enjoy these services. Once we have 10 people sign up for any of these options cumulatively, we're going to close the door because we want to give you maximum value. So ladies and gentlemen, as we wrap up today, I want you to do one last thing for us. Let me stop sharing the screen. If you have any questions with respect to any of the options, please call our office line 0807 361 0884 or call 0703 595 3367. For numbers calling from abroad, the country code is +234. +234, and then any of the numbers call to have your benefits acquired. Remember, only 10 businesses will take advantage. After that, we close the door. So as we wrap up now, I can take any other question. We have 20 minutes to the end of today's meeting. Any other question for me? Remember that you can watch this entire session on YouTube. It is absolutely free to rewatch all the sessions, all the entire session we've had so far. Go on YouTube and watch everything from the beginning and take advantage of all the massive tips that Rukaya has shared. Remember to follow Rukaya for mentoring. Remember to follow me on IG for any other support. But anything outside these services, we will attend to you. Anything within these services, you have to sign up for the services. Fantastic. So, any questions for me or any comments? To our live streamers on YouTube, thank you for joining. I've seen all the thumbs up on YouTube. Very beautiful. Very beautiful. Good to see. Good to see. So anyone have a question for us as we wrap up our session today? I think we have effectively delivered and it has been a pleasure. I'd like to take your feedback, your question. Fisayomi, thank you for joining all the way from the UK. Professor Messi Umeri, thank you for joining all the way from the United States. So everyone who joined from outside Nigeria, especially when the time zone has not been friendly, thank you for joining. So everyone who joined from Ibadan, Lagos, Port Harcourt, Abuja, Plateau State, Jos, Abeokuta, Mina, any other place in Nigeria, thank you for waking up so early to join this session. I hope it has added value to your time and business. Don't forget to follow Rukaya. Don't forget to sign up to the opportunities because it's been a massive opportunity we've shared with you. Don't forget, I think I should share it one last time. Take a screenshot of this page. Take a screenshot of this page. It will come handy. And don't forget to reach out immediately because only 10 businesses will enjoy these opportunities. After the 10th business, we will not take any more businesses. So thank you so much. I hope to see you again when we call you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I'm going to stop recording now, and then I'm going to switch to music mode because if you know us, we do a lot of music. So I'm going to stop recording officially now, and then we can switch into party mode while my team will engage you. Don't forget to buy the book, Fans Don't Pay. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. Don't forget to follow Rukaya on Instagram. And don't forget to sign up to any of the packages because you never lose with us. Thank you for joining a beautiful weekend. God bless you. We're switching to music now.